In today's headline, Freewill test won't save doping bets. Pasig holds dry run of face-to-face classes. Senate approves proposed 1.63 billion PCOO 2022 budget. Bong Go, NHA help calamity struck in Surigao revealed. Supreme Court, West Philippine Sea defense up to Duterte. Knicks down, crippled Lakers. Canada starts vaccinating children ages 5 to 11 years old against COVID. A season of hope manifested. Good morning, I am Kim Sancha and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is the 25th of November and here are the latest news of this morning. The camp of presidential aspirant Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who fits the description given by Duterte, said its candidate did not feel alluded to by the president. The Philippine National Police on Wednesday welcomed moves by some candidates in the 2022 elections to undergo voluntary drug tests, but said this will not prevent investigations if they are found with drug offenses. PNP Chief General Jonardo Carlos said in a statement issued by Crimes Public Information Office that they will document the result and reiterated that these candidates serve as good example to the public. He added, however, that disclosing the results of their test in public would not halt probes in case there is valuable information that will link a candidate to the illegal drug trade or drug use. Duterte said the male candidate he identified as a drug user is a prominent member of a wealthy clan. Carlos said that if there is relevant information reaches to them, they will conduct information, and as of this time, they are trying to get additional information regarding on that matter. The camp of presidential aspirant Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who fits the description given by Duterte, said it did not feel alluded to by the president. He tested negative for the illegal substance and submitted the result to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA, the Office of the Chief of the PNP, and the National Bureau of Investigation on the 23rd of November through Rodriguez. Another presidential aspirant, Senator Panfilo Lacson, and his vice president partner, Senate President Vicente Soto III, had their negative tests obtained from PDEA. Senator Christopher Bong Go and Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso, also both running for the highest position in the land, have already expressed willingness to undergo drug tests, with the latter even sending a letter to PDEA Director General Wilkins Villanueva. Vice presidential aspirant Sara Duterte Carpio also said she tested negative for drugs on Wednesday. As many experts say, the key is good ventilation and airflow. A school in Pasig City has held a dry run in preparation for face-to-face classes, Mayor Vico Soto said yesterday. Soto posted a couple of photos on his Facebook page wherein learners were seen attending the simulation at the Pasig Elementary School. Soto shared on his Facebook post that after almost 2 years, the public can see the simulation or dry run of students attending face-to-face classes at Pasig Elementary School. Soto quoted that the key is good ventilation and airflow, as many experts say. He also thanked parents for letting their children participate in the dry run. Soto said the school's division office of Pasig City plans to implement face-to-face classes on December 6. He also added that currently 4 public schools are undergoing validation, which are the Pasig Elementary School, Nagpayang Elementary School, F. Legazpi Elementary School, and Pasig Ugong National High School are undergoing validation. The Daily Tribune has sought confirmation from the Department of Education, but the agency has yet to respond if these schools were given the go signal to hold in-person classes. The Senate on Tuesday concluded the plenary debates on the proposed 5.24 trillion national budget for 2022 and approved the proposed 1.63 billion pesos budget for the Presidential Commission's Operations Office and its attached agencies. Included in the proposed budget under the PCOO proper are the operationalization of the Government Communication Academy with construction currently underway in Manolo Portich, Bukidnon, procurement of new ICT equipment and software, and continuing the implementation and campaign for the Freedom of Information program. During the session, Senator Richard Gordon, and Senator Franklin Diron accepted the assurance given by Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar that PCOO's more than 1,400 contracts of service workers are not online trolls. Secretary Andanar likewise raised two thumbs up during the session in response to Senator Gordon's request to certify the said assurance. Senator Gordon said that he is willing to take the word of Secretary Andanar and Undersecretary Ablan. The PCOO chief on Tuesday also apologized for the department of the approval of the 2022 appropriations before the Senate budget deliberation online over the supposed inappropriate etiquette by a personnel of APO production unit on Monday night. Secretary Andanar stressed that professionalism during official transactions is strictly instilled among personnel, including events and engagement held virtually. He said during the Tuesday session with the legislators that any lapses in appropriate conduct or courtesy will never be condoned, as they in the PCOO and the attached agencies are committed to the highest standards of professionalism in all instances. On Monday, the Senate deferred the budget deliberation for PCOO's proposed 2022 budget after Senator Sherwin Gatchalian called out Dominic Tahon, Sales and Marketing Manager of APO Production Unit, for allegedly drinking while in session. APO is an attached agency under the PCOO. He also apologized to the Senate and reiterates that they will reflect to their discourtesy. Tahon already submitted a letter to the Senate explaining his side, where he explained his perceived disrespectful conduct. He also denied imbibing liquor or any fermented drink during the session and clarified that he had a sip of cola in a water goblet. Tribune News on Cue will be back after these reminders.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
Bong, yung naumpisahan ko, tapusin mo. Mga bagong highway, tulay, tren, dapat ma-enjoy na kaagad ng mga tao yan. Kailangan lahat bakunado at laging may ayuda pag kailangan. Huwag dapat magkabalik ang mga drug lords para ligtas ang pamilya. Yung ginawa mong malasakit centers, maganda yan. Padamihin mo pa. Magkasama tayo. Tayo ang nagsimula. Tuloy-tuloy lang, Bong.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
We are back on Tribune News on Cue. The Office of Senator Christopher Bong Go collaborated with the National Housing Authority to assist the disaster hit in Kagawit, Surigao del Sur on the 18th of November. They handed out meals and masks to 183 typhoon and fire victims at Barangay Asan Gymnasium and doled out finances. They also gave bicycles and computer tablets to select residents. The NHA provided additional financial assistance through Emergency Housing Assistance Program to help the victims rebuild homes. Go, in a video message, reminds the public to get vaccinated, particularly those who are in the priority list, for the country to achieve its herd immunity and to resume to our normal life. He also urges the local government units to help the national government regarding the vaccination. The chair of the Senate Committee on Health and Demography, Go, offered aid to residents in need of medical attention. He advised them that they may conveniently avail themselves of medical assistance from the government through the malasakit centers at the Lianga District Hospital in Lianga and the Adela Serra TY Memorial Medical Center in Tandang City. As part of his commitment to ensure that the government can proactively address any disaster-related incident, Go highlighted the need for a department that will specifically focus on holistic disaster preparation and response. Kemba Walker, number 8 of the New York Knicks, heads for the net in the second half against the Los Angeles Lakers at Madison Square Garden on the 23rd of November in New York City. The New York Knicks defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 106-100. They rallied to tie the score twice in the third period but never managed to get in front despite a triple-double of 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists from Russell Westbrook. The Knicks scored 36 points in the first quarter, but the Lakers closed the first half on a 16-4 scoring run and opened the third period with a 9-0 run to make it close. They tied it at 79-79 on Carmelo Anthony's dunk, and Westbrook tied it against at 81 with a driving layup. But with Knicks star Julius Randle, who scored 20 points with 16 rebounds in late foul trouble, quickly stepped up for New York, hitting 4 three-pointers in the final quarter as the hosts held on for the win. Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau quickly said that it's interesting in the beginning that Julius Randle started off and wasn't making it, and it didn't faze him one bit. Thibodeau added that even if Knicks are in and out, Randle always thinking the next one is going in. Fournier said plays down the stretch kept the Knicks in it, but he added that losing the big lead before hanging on for the win was a perfect example of the inconsistency that has hindered the Knicks. He mentioned that they are very capable of playing good basketball, however, getting big leads and all of a sudden not so well. But the New York Knicks gets confident in letting themselves back into the game. Clippers forward Paul George fired a three-pointer from the corner over the outstretched arms of Terrence Mann to tie the score at time expired in regulation. But the Mavericks dominated overtime, outscoring the Clippers 9-1 with the aid of 6 points from Porzingis to seal the victory. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay tuned.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama. Ang Daily Tribune may digital shows na din. Dahil sa mas lumalaki at mas lumalakas nating tribu, handog sa inyo ng Daily Tribune ang mga programang magbibigay buhay araw-araw. Be informed at mag-good vibes tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Be updated sa news and happenings sa Tribune News on Q. Mas kilalanin pa natin ang mga paborito nyong atleta sa programang The Athletes Tribune. Alamin ang latest entertainment sa programang What's Up. Ma-inspire sa mga kwentong hatid ng Perfect. Search lang ang Daily Tribune sa inyong Facebook at Tribune Now on YouTube. See you there mga katribu! Katribu, hanap mo ba ay food to satisfy your cravings, essential products, o ano paman? Sagot ka namin dito sa tindahan ni Tarsi. Halina't tuklasin, kilalanin at alamin ang kwento sa likod ng iba't ibang produkto at negosyo mula sa ating Pinoy local entrepreneurs na tiyak papatok sa'yo. Samahan natin si Tarsi simula November 16 na mapapanood sa programang Gising na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Christmas saya, pagsama-sama.
And you're back in Tribune News on Q. Canada began immunizing children aged 5-11 against COVID-19 on Wednesday, joining a handful of nations including Israel and the United States in offering shots to this age group. At Montreal's Convention Center, a few dozen youngsters were among the first to receive the Pfizer doses authorized since last Friday for this age group. To help ease their fears of needles, additional measures have been taken, such posting stickers of unicorns or hockey players on partitions between nursing stations, longer appointments than for adults, and a dog to pet. On Twitter, Quebec Premier François Legault was delighted Wednesday morning to note that 115,300 appointments were made in a few hours. It is together that we can make a difference, he said. In neighboring Ontario, a handful of children were vaccinated Tuesday in Toronto due to an early delivery of doses. Canada's most populous province is set to officially begin its campaign on Thursday. Toronto Mayor John Tory said in a statement that the starting of vaccination for thousands of kids in Toronto is first in Canada and will continue this best protection possible against COVID-19 over the coming weeks. On Wednesday, the mayor appeared in a clinic alongside Paul Carew, a green kangaroo-like character from a local children's television show, to announce that more than 31,000 children's vaccine appointments have been logged so far. Canada has one of the highest vaccination rates in the world against COVID-19, with over 85% of people over the age of 12 having rolled up their sleeves twice. Health Canada on Wednesday also approved the use of Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine for people 18 years old or older. This Christmas, the Alvista Hotel celebrates a season of hope after the world came to a halt for a year and a half because of the pandemic. For details of the story, here is the report of Venice Bautista.
This Christmas, the Alvista Hotel celebrates a season of hope after the world came to a halt for a year and a half because of the pandemic. The landmark hotel of Tagaytay City is also celebrating its 82nd year. As Nestor Hardin, the hotel's general manager, said, no matter the situation, the Alvista will be here for always.
So now that the situation is much better in the country, as far as the pandemic is concerned, we see this as a season of hope, where everyone can rebuild from the hiatus that we had for the past 2 years, and we're now celebrating the fact that the Alvista Hotel has been here for 82 years, and no matter what the situation is, whether it's a volcanic eruption or a pandemic, we will be here for always.
A season of hope is celebrated through a series of events. The Walk Through Time exhibit shows the rich history of the Alvista Hotel's 82 years. It shares the heritage of the hotel, the Taal Lake and the volcano, and the culture of Tagaytay and its people. The Christmas tree lighting is a symbol of hope that mirrors this event. It culminated with a ceremonial gift-giving for the children of Augustinian sisters, servants of Jesus and Mary, the beneficiaries of the celebration. In the mood, wine dinner treated guests to an extensive 7-course dinner inspired by the 1930s and 1940s, created by the culinary team, headed by executive chef Jaime Natividad, and paired with wines from Happy Living Philippines Corporation. There was also a covered terrace designed by Julius Villamante of Amante Flores, using fresh local flowers with touches of black accent pieces matching the 1930s and 1940s eras. As the cherry on top, Christmas songs were performed by musical artists, singer Ina Chico, and pianist Lloyd Nicholas. As the cultural landmark in the heart of Tagaytay, the Alvista Hotel shows its dedication to staying committed to serving people and being a bearer of cherished memories. This is Venice Bautista, together with Matthew Libunao, reporting for Daily Tribune's News on Cue. This Christmas,
That wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the following: Mary Kay, the SM Store, the Department of Tourism, Araneta City, MG Motors, Haina Motors, Security Bank and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Kim Sancho and Tribune News on Cue, reminding you that we only have 30 days until Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarcito are available on our community Viber.